What's up, guys? Today we're going to be playing a new game called Hydroneer, and I'm super stoked to get started. We start off right here on this plot of land that's been paid for us, which is very convenient considering every other plot of land in the game is going to cost us a bunch of money, and we don't have any money right now because we haven't mined anything. So the purpose of this game is to mine for resources, which you can then take in exchange for money, which you can use to buy materials, which will help you mine for more resources, which will help you buy more materials, which will help you mine for more resources, which will eventually get you a lot of money. You are starting off with several pieces of free equipment, including a nifty map, 2 buckets of different sizes, this cool cart, and this brush. Now the cool thing about the cart is that you can load up everything that you've ever owned in life into it and then pull it around like some homeless person, which is essentially what we are at the start of this game. Over here next to this light fixture we also have a shovel and a lantern, which will prove to be useful in the middle of the night when we're hacking away at hard soil trying to make a living. Now up this way we're also given a mining truck or vehicle of some sort that we can actually get in and use to navigate the map. Driving it is definitely a bit of an art, and you will find yourself running into just about everything, including this annoying light post. But eventually you will get the hang of it and you'll be able to drive it fairly well. It does pick up speed and becomes a little bit unmanageable. There's also a few bridges like this cool bridge, which I totally failed to navigate. Now making contact with the water was a bit of an experience on its own, but I do eventually stop spinning and I'm allowed to just drive right on top of the water as if I'm Jesus, which is interesting. Thankfully there is a shallow bank that allows me to drive the vehicle right up and off the water. Not that it really mattered because it felt like I was driving on the ground anyways. Up here is a bit of a winter wonderland, and I did decide to take the vehicle off-roading and almost got it stuck. So be careful with this vehicle because it seems like it can get stuck anywhere. Now to show you how to actually mine, you take your large bucket and you just drop it right in the water to fill it up with water. Then you plop it right on the ground and you're going to take your shovel and then you're going to hack away at the dirt here and throw the dirt into the little bucket. Even though the little bucket is completely on its side, it still seems to fill up just fine. You're going to take your little bucket full of dirt and you're going to dump it into the bigger bucket so that it falls into the water. And then you take your brush and you just do some scrubby scrubs and you scrub away that water, and all of a sudden you're left with the resources that you were able to mine. There's some sort of shard that lights up. I don't understand what it does. And also 2 pieces of iron. So we're going to throw everything into this large bucket, and then we're going to throw the bucket into the back of the vehicle, and we're going to go see what we can get for this. Now you're going to make your way to a place called the jeweler, and the idea is you get out, you get your bucket of material, and you just plop it right on this table right here, and then it'll tell you exactly how much they're willing to pay for what you got. You push this fancy little purple button and then you come out with an hydro coin, which in this case is 7, and then you just take it, throw it in the bucket. You're going to throw it in the back of the vehicle, and then you'll be on your way once more. So let's explore what we can actually buy with stuff like this. There's a stock market feature, as well as some tool bags, spanner wrenches, and some water pipe filters, which I'm sure prove to be useful at some point in the future. And now we're going to follow these cool little neon signs and see where they take us, which is probably going to be more stuff to buy if I had to guess. Yep, over here anything that's laying on the ground are things that can buy, such as logic explosives. We also have a delay logic cable, whatever that thing is, as well as these things and these things, which compare logic apparently. We also have some elbow logic cables, because why not, as well as a logic switch and a logic number, logic valves, whatever that thing is, as well as this thing and that thing. We also have some cool pallets over here, and I'm no stranger to a pallet. Basically what you do with the pallet is you're going to grab the pallet, which allows you to put anything you want on it, and then you can throw the pallet onto a cool little platform and see how much everything is. So let's go ahead and test that out. We're going to throw a few things on here, and if there's no space to drop something, you really can't drop it. In this situation, I seem to be having a lot of difficulty with the fact that that's round and it just keeps falling off. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab one of these as well and throw it on the pallet. And then we're going to take this pallet, throw it on this platform, and then this sign right here is going to tell us how much we owe, which we clearly can't afford. So we're just going to take our little measly 7 hydro coins and leave. I noticed a little bit of a shrine thing over here that juts out into the sea. It feels a little sacred to me, and I don't know what's over here, so let's go ahead and explore it. Looks like there's a tool bag and a mining helmet for sale, which is kind of random. Down here in these stairs, there's a few other things for sale and a few signs that I don't understand at this point. Also, on this big wall there seems to be some sort of cryptic message about things that you can do. Again, I don't fully understand it right now, but I'm sure it'll prove to be useful at some point in the future. Continuing on, we have the option to buy a bed. We can also buy a fishing pole, a fishing pot, some tool racks, some sheets of metal, windows, a thatched roof, some paint, and some walls. I'm starting to get the idea that the game wants us to make our own little private hut out on our land so that we can just live where we work, because that's the American dream, basically. They would like my ruby. Back to our cart, we've managed to mine a few more things, and I just want to see how much we can get for a
Check that out. Watch this.
In this case, we can get 2. So I'm going to go ahead and cash that.
Used to buy things combined by dropping together. Nice.
I'm not quite ready to call myself rich yet.
Let's just put this in the cart.
Get there,
since I don't seem to have pockets.
So heading back down to our fancy little plot of land, I think what I've decided to do is start mining like I'm supposed to. It's the middle of the night now, and that lantern is proving to be very useful, although all I can do with it is throw it on the ground. So let's get to mining and see how much we can actually get. Alright, a new day is dawned and we have tons of resources. At least I think it's tons of resources. I don't really know. The whole point of this is to figure out how much we can get for this, and the shovel is doing really weird things. Trying to put the map into the cart is a bit of an adventure. Sometimes when you drop things in this game, they just don't seem to want to cooperate. Anyways, I do eventually get the map into the cart, and I make my way up to the jeweler, where I get to figure out how much I actually get. Now once I'm at the jeweler, I have realized that I have quite the job on my hands to separate everything. I am curious to see how much these shards go for, and a bit disappointed to realize they don't go for anything. So I'm going to have to separate all of those, which I've done already. We're going to leave those in the cart, and everything else that's worth value is in this bucket right here. I didn't end up filming it for some stupid reason, but I got about 1100 credits off of that, which I'm not sure if that's a lot or not, but I do want to buy this fishing pole. Again, what I do is I just select it, grab all of my money that seems to be welded together, throw it in this bucket, push this button which pays for it, and somehow just automatically subtracts my money. Throw my pile of money back in my cart and take my fishing pole with me. We're going to go ahead and see what we can do with this fishing pole, because apparently you can fish in this game. And now that I have a fish, I'm going to see how much I can sell it for. It looks like I can sell it for 5 coin, which admittedly is a lot better than 1 piece of ore. That seems to be a lot more work. So let's go ahead and get to work fishing for more fish, because it seems to be a highly profitable business. So this is how you fish. You just wait for the bobber to yank down, and voila, you've got a fish. And it is dead. And I'm just going to throw it in our cart. And why not do just a little bit more fishing? Alright, looks like we have done just a little bit more fishing, and we've basically clogged the little river with a bunch of dead fish. I can just hear the environmentalists screaming at me now. This should give me quite a bit of money, although that'll be for another episode. If you liked what you saw, give me a good like. Thank you. That's my cat, by the way.